saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money,
All right, Coach, from the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Denver Broncos. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 90, Wolf. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Philip Lindsay. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down. On second down now, it's Lindsay. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. We talked about Philip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Philip Lindsay.
Down, 8, read.
Clock now on first down. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good header scheme going.
On second down, a run with Lindsay. And taking it across midfield and in.
This young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. On first down, right back to Lindsay. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
He's crashing. He's checking.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff. And it's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Muhammad Wilkerson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and it's third down.
It's easy to see when we review this. said the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. On 3rd and long, it's locked. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. C.J. Anderson with it. Of course, a big part of the Rams' run to the Super Bowl last year. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The tackle there by Breanne Body Calhoun.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run with a former Jaguar. It's T.J. Yeldon. And a cut to the right and some open field here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw, it's Allen. Out of the backfield, it's T.J. Yeldon. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This is caught. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll run. It's the fullback DeMarco. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
43-19. I got one.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. Here's Lindsey. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the 1st half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? #1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. #2 goal is win your division. #3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Open man is Kroon, the tight end. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
Check round 80. Switch up.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen throwing again. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 34. They run it from the gun with Yeldon. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Kroft, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
On first down, Locke. Out to his left. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Lorenzo Alexander in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Locke gets this to Hamilton, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 39. On first and 10, here's Locke. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Hey, Alpha. Play.
On third down, Locke. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Hey, buddy! 152. Pass. Here we go. Let's go.
A shotgun handoff now to Yeldon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Looking to throw on second down. Allen, his throw incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The throw over the middle taken in. A good pick up there of 20 yards. On first down, Allen. That one complete to Yeldon. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on second down. Allen, and he fires one that's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now it's Lindsey. And some room to roam now.
Watch quick.
He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, 5, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsey, his 21st touchdown of the season, and the Broncos have retaken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Royce Freeman, as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos push further out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Allen now on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Allen now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10. Allen now looks to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Now T.J. Yeldon. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Throwing now is Allen. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Isaiah McKenzie, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded at the 2. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. And the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. They'll run here with Lindsey. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner, but after a play like that, they might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
To throw on 3rd down. Block. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Sutton is part of a good young receiving core for the Broncos. They liked Sutton enough last year. They traded away Demaryius Thomas, if you remember, halfway through the season. And Sutton, he responded. Rookie campaign, had over 700 yards, 42 catches for the man from Brenham, Texas, which is located halfway between Houston and Austin. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a give to Lindsey running right. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll go again with Lindsey. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Another run by Lindsey. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And McManus able to put it through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now it's Yeldon. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Allen, and the grab by Croft. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Robert Foster, his 1st touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Boy, a tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no. Yeah,
we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A big spot now for the rookie Locke. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On play action, Locke. And this is incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And now it's third down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. Locke now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now the Broncos are going to call the first. To their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Check. Shit. Hey, Sam up. Shoot.
Clock will try again on 2nd down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Keelan Cole, the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock here with Anderson. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. Going right side here, and that's complete. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch that in. Watch that in.
They run it again with Anderson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Allen. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Important extra point up and through, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now Locke. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs.
Choose the mic. I got you, punk.
Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it, and let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the fourth quarter, but a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there, but in the fourth quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for the Bills, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Dallas on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they